Going to parties, enjoying birthdays, or just celebrating some holidays always goes the same way. You come in there and you instantly feel pressure to eat and drink whatever is being served. And saying no over and over makes you feel weird. Like, what are you going to do? Your grandma spent half of the day cooking some delicious meals and you are going to come in there and say no because you are super focused on losing weight? Well, in theory you could just say no, but we know how it goes in reality. It's very difficult to not break under the pressure in a situation like that. You can't just say no to your grandma. In the past, I struggled with the same exact thing, which got me thinking, how could I eat basically an unlimited amount of food and just enjoy myself without ruining all of my hard work? And I actually came up with a brilliant solution that I want to share with you today. If you have been dieting in the past, you know that in order to lose weight, you have to be in a calorie deficit, which will instantly disappear when your grandma starts offering you some delicious food or when your friends start peer pressuring you into drinking alcohol. So it seems like you are just screwed no matter what. But there is a way in which you could actually solve all of this. But to do this, you need to understand the concept of a calorie deficit a little more. So let me show you an example. Let's say that your maintenance calories are like 2500. So then we, for example, apply a calorie deficit of 500, which would leave us with 2000 calories per day. This number is the amount of calories you have to consume each day to keep on losing weight. And the moment you go over this number, you are actively ruining your weight loss progress. Imagine that you are in a 500 calorie deficit each day. But then you go to your friend's birthday party and you get drunk and eat a bunch of garbage, which means that you consumed a bunch of extra calories. Let's say you consumed like 2000 extra calories above your preset goal. Do you know what this means for you? It means that you just wasted 4 days worth of dieting progress, because in each one of those days you were in a 500 calorie deficit. But just in that one day where you had that birthday party, you reverted all of that progress from those days. The thing I'm trying to explain is that the calorie number you are trying to hit isn't just something that is connected to one single day. Calorie deficit works because it's spread out across a very long period of time. So if you wanted to, you could calculate your calories for an entire month in advance. But before I show you how that will look like, let me super quickly show you my advanced bundle, where you can get a training and a nutrition plan of your choice together with the brand new rocking guide. So if you want to take your physique to the next level, click the first link in the description to learn more. Alright, so as I was saying, if you wanted to, you could calculate your calories for an entire month in advance. So let's say that 2000 calories is the amount of calories you have to eat each day to keep on losing weight. If we multiplied that by 30 days, we would get 60,000 calories. That is the amount of calories that you can consume in a month. And it doesn't really matter how it's spread out across that month. Some days can be higher and some days can be lower. But all that matters is that at the end of the month you have to be under those 60,000 calories. So I'm gonna give you a crazy example so you understand this even better. This is obviously for illustration purposes only. Don't do anything like that, because it is completely detached from reality. You could eat 10,000 calories each day for the first 6 days straight and then not eat absolutely anything for the rest of the month, and you would still lose weight. I think you now understand what I'm trying to say, which is very important for the trick that I want to show you, which will allow you to enjoy parties, birthdays, holidays or any other occasion completely guilt-free. This trick is similar to the example I gave you before, it's just not so insane. Let's say you know that you will go to a birthday party on Friday and today is Monday, meaning you have 4 days left before it happens. So what you want to do is make your calorie deficit slightly bigger for the next 4 days. For example, instead of being in a 300 calorie deficit like you would normally be, go into a 800 calorie deficit for those 4 days, which will result in you saving 500 calories per day in each one of those 4 days, which equals to 2000 calories once completed. Which means that now that you go to that party, you have extra 2000 calories that you can quote-unquote spend because you saved them before. So even if you overeat, you will most likely still be in a calorie deficit after all. And once the party is over, you can go back to your regular calorie deficit of 300 or whatever amount you were using before and continue with your diet as per usual. Which, yeah, it requires you to put in some extra work and preparation. It's not a magical trick that will suddenly make all the extra food and alcohol you consume disappear. This actually puts it into a perspective and makes you wonder if it's even worth it to consume all the unhealthy foods and alcohol. Because you now know exactly how tough were those days where you had to make your calorie deficit even bigger to save some extra calories. And then you just eat a birthday cake or something, and suddenly a couple days of dieting progress vanish in a second. Which will make you realize that those unhealthy foods are not really worth it at all. For me, this realization happened in the early days of my racking journey. I spent around an hour racking, and then I saw that I burned over 500 calories in that time period. I was like, nice, I earned it. But then you see a small bag of chips in the store and see that the package has around 500 calories. And then it hits you. I could eat this bag in 30 seconds, but to burn it all off, I would have to sweat for an hour. And once you realize this, you will not even want to cheat on your diet, because you now know how hard it is to reverse it. Which brings us to how to actually make your calorie deficit even bigger for those couple of days. You definitely do not want to cut protein from your diet. That has to stay as is. The place from which you will be cutting calories will most likely be carbs. So for example, if you are eating 100 grams of rice for lunch, make that 50 grams for the next couple of days that you are planning to decrease your calories even more. Couple of small adjustments like this can easily save a couple hundred calories. Or you could just remove the carb sources entirely from some of your meals for those couple of days. So for example, instead of having chicken and rice, you remove the rice and add more chicken and more veggies instead. But what I really want to hammer home about this whole nutrition hack in this video is that this should only be used as I described, just for a couple of days in preparation for some occasion where you know that you will go overboard. This should absolutely not be done in an attempt to speed up your weight loss journey or anything like that. Because putting yourself into a super big calorie deficit for a long period of time is not something that you want to be doing. I get it, putting yourself into a super big calorie deficit might seem like it's insanely effective for the first couple of weeks. Weight is going down, it all seems pretty good. But this will not last forever, that is very much temporary. And it will turn into a nightmare very fast. Your hunger will start to get bigger, your sleep is going to be terrible, and your numbers in the gym will go down rapidly. Then it's just a question of time before you reach the breaking point. And once you do, all the suffering you endured will go in vain. As your weight will bounce right back where it was, and you will be lucky if you don't end up even more obese than before. Overall, this trick is pretty useful if you use it correctly. I actually got inspired to do this when I saw what competitive eaters are doing to stay fit. You might think to yourself, how are most of the competitive eaters so fit when it seems like they are eating over 10,000 calories in each sitting? And well, they are basically doing the same thing as I explained to you in this video. But they are doing it in a little more extreme way. After all, they will consume like 10 times more food in each one of their parties than any of us ever will. So to offset those tens of thousands of calories, most of them will just eat some high protein, low calorie foods like Greek yogurt and just drink a lot. They are not really eating much on their off days. Because if you remember what I showed you earlier, then you now understand how they are able to stay fit even if they are eating the craziest meals ever. You just have to really zoom out to see how it all averages out in the end. And you can also use this trick to stay fit, but remember, don't go insane and only use it as described. Thanks for watching, I hope you learned something. Please don't forget to check out the new advanced bundle by clicking the first link in the description. Good luck on your bodybuilding journey and I will see you next time. If you like this video, then you for sure have to check out this one too.